All right, Barakatah Yahweh, Barakatah Yahushai, Barakatah Yahweh, Barakatah Yahushai. I want to give all praises, honor, and glory to Yahweh, Bahashim, Yahushai, Bahashim, Rakakwadash. Double honors to the apostles and the elders of the great millstone who rule and teach well. Peace and safety and much blessings to the Yakim that's pushing this truth out the four corners of the earth and all truth and sincerity and the diligent shalom. All right, man, I just want to get into maybe probably about two news articles. It's not going to be long, but the scriptures, commands us to be a watchman, and so that's what we do. We stand up on the tower, right? And we watch. Real quick, I believe this is it. This is Ezekiel chapter 3, verse 17. It says, Son of man, I have made thee a watchman unto the house of Israel. Therefore, hear the word at my mouth and give them warning from me. So, you know, matter of fact, let's just look into that word watchman. Uh, uh, Safa. Right, it says to look out or about, spy, keep watch, observe, watch, to keep watch, spy, to watch, watch closely. Right, so we watching closely in the things that we see, in the news and filtering it through the scriptures, bring it out, and warning and warning of Yahweh Ba'Shem Yahushai, because, once we do our job, we're justified. All right, because verse 18 says, when I say unto the wicked, thou shalt surely die, thou givest him not warning, nor speakest to warn the wicked from his wicked way to save his life. The same wicked man shall die in his iniquity, but his blood will I require at thine hand. Yet if thou warn the wicked, and he turn not from his wickedness, nor from his wicked way, he shall die in his iniquity, but thou hast delivered thy soul. So we do this out of fear of Yahweh Hashem Yahushai. We stand on the tower, we see these things that's going on because we know that America is no different from any other empire that rule, as far as when it's only set to rule for a little season, right? Because each empire had its time to rule. So we watch circumspectly. What that is, Amos? I think that's Amos. It might be Ephesians. Salaki. Maybe Ephesians 5. Yeah, this is Ephesians 5 and 15. It says, See then that ye walk circumspectly, not as fools, but as wise, redeeming the times because the days are evil, right? So we watching circumspectly like a watchman's supposed to, redeeming the times because we know we are in the end, right? And in the end is a lot of things that's supposed to happen according to prophecy. Because why? The days are evil, right? So nevertheless, let's just get into some of these news articles. First one I wanted to get into was let's see, was this it? No. Trash ass computer, man. Let's see. More articles. All right, right here. All right, it says top 7 ways the Democrats in DC plan on reducing, you know, and you got to be real skeptical. You got to be real, skeptical about saying certain words because you say anything, they want to strike your channel or take your channel down, right? So you see what this says right here, reducing the right? It says, yes, Vice President of the United States of America just said the quiet part out loud quiet part out loud live on television for the whole world to hear and try to digest. The not so brilliant sidekick for President Biden, who just informed the world that AI stands for artificial intelligence because nobody knew that until she did. Once and see, they be they be really making mockery, of the of what you would call the leadership of this so-called country. That's how you know that this place is a joke. All right, because in ancient pastimes, you make mockery, you was finna get dealt with. All right, it says American Salaki wants every American to be very clear about main goals of the Democrats in Washington D.C. to end all use of fossil fuel by investing in clean energy, electric vehicles, and also wait for it to reduce the. You know what I'm saying? You cannot make this stuff up. She meant what she said when she it, it exclaimed it. When we invest in clean energy, electric vehicles, and reduce P word, more of our children can breathe clean air. And me personally as a man, that's I don't believe that's a slip of the tongue. They're just basically coming out and proclaiming it, and then now trying to cover it up. Nah, no, 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 because we know that that's part of the agenda, right? And we know, and let's just say this, speaking from the perspective of knowing who you are and knowing where we are, we're the Israelites in captivity under the Americans, which are Edomites. You know, the whole ordeal is to get at the Israelites because we're God's chosen people. We're Yahweh, we're Yahweh Shah's chosen people, right? So the reduce of this is only towards the Israelites. Now, you will have, this is the devil. He's going to sacrifice his own, his own people, for that same reason. Like if you gotta basically he gonna deal with you too. But the main objective is to get at the you Negroes, Latinos, and Native Americans, and that has happened in the scriptures. Where the leader of that province, the leader of that empire, was like, look, man, we got to get at these Israelites, so we're gonna reduce, the I'm gonna delete some people, right? I'm gonna delete. There you go. I'm gonna delete, some Israelites, and that has happened in the scripture. So let's get it. This is Exodus 1, and I'm going to start at 7. It says, and the children of Israel were fruitful, increased abundantly, and multiplied, and waxed exceeding mighty, and the land was filled with them, and we're the majority, right? It says, now arose up a new king over Egypt, which knew not Joseph, and he said unto his people, behold, the people of the children of Israel are more mightier than we. All right. Come on, let us deal wisely with them, lest they multiply and it come to pass that there falleth out any war, and they join also unto our enemies and fight against us, and so get them up out of the land. Therefore they did set over them taskmasters to afflict them with their burden, and they built for Pharaoh treasure cities, Pithom and Ramses. But the more they afflicted them, the more they multiplied and grew, and they were grieved because of the children of Israel. And the Egyptians made the children of Israel to serve with rigor, and they made their lives bitter with hard bondage and mortar and in brick. See, and that's a hardcore bondage, just like it's a hardcore bondage here in America. That's why Egypt is synonymous with America. Going back to what Isaiah the 19th chapter, was those Egypt and Assyrian, captivities were symbolic of a hard bondage. But anyway, it says, in all manner of service filled all their services wherein they made them serve was with rigor. And the king of Egypt spake unto the Hebrew midwives, of which the name of one was Shipporah, and the name of the other was Phua. And he said, when ye do the office of a midwife to Hebrew women, and see them upon the stools, if it be a son, then ye shall kill him. But if it be a daughter, then she shall live. You see? So he wanted to delete, he wanted to delete all the men, right? But if we're on a higher scale here in America, this devil wants to, damn near get rid of all of us. You know, he wants to damn near get rid of all of us. All right, but this is an example right here in ancient Egypt. He wanted to delete, all the sons. You know what I'm saying? Just say if you had all these Israelites that had, you know, 300,000. Well, I ain't gonna say 300,000 sons. 100,000 sons, right? He wanted to kill them all. Or say he had 500,000 sons. He wanted to kill them all. That's called deleting some people, man. And that's the same thing right here, right? Going into what? Reducing. You want to delete some people. All right, but we know that this devil, he's doing this to usher in his plan, man, because that's what, that's part of the agenda. All right, but chiefly that you got to understand that the whole agenda is to get at the children of Israel, because when you read the Bible, everything is all about the children of Israel. Everything is about the children of Israel. Everything, every part of this Bible is about the children of Israel. Okay, so this is part of the agenda right here. So you people better get ready, man. All right. They openly telling you. All right. It says, let's take a closer look, critical consideration of what the second in command of U.S. is saying here. What can she possibly mean by the government method of operation to greatly reduce the number of living humans in America? So much so that the air we breathe here on Earth is cleaner. Plus, remember, she was specific about saying more of our children, not all of them. You see? Does she mean the Democrat children? Does she mean the non-whites? Does that include illegal immigrants and the children of politicians in Washington, D.C.? There are several ways to significantly reduce the population of the United States, which is currently around 332 million, not counting several million illegal aliens in the Biden regime has welcomed over the past 3 years, though it does include many of the decades prior. Mind you that this is a government plan, so it has to sound legal, or at least for the greater good. All right, and that's just basically, what it is. That's part of the agenda. When you go on, remember they had the Georgia Guidestones. All right, that was part of the plan to bring the population down. I can say it like that, to bring the population down to 500 million. Okay, it says one way to eliminate millions of Americans from the face of the earth would be to invent a new blank in a laboratory, mutilate an old one with the grain with gain of function, spread it on purpose, and treat anyone who catches a bad case of it, and then checks into a hospital with deadly drugs and vascular clotting, to finish them off. And then let's not forget, man. It just came out that is the CDC has sounded the alarm on a fungus now, right? So keep your eye on that, man. All right, because let's not forget, Bill Gates said it will be another scamdemic. All right, you know. So this is part of being a watchman. This is, letting you know that these things are in play. These things are going to happen. It is an agenda. All right. So, you whatever demons you dealing with, whatever things you got going on in your life, whatever it is, man, you got to make it right, man. You got to, get on it. Talking to myself too, man. You know, because, bro, it's finna be fucking crazy out here. It's finna be real, real crazy out here. And the only thing that's gonna save us is Yahweh Ba'ashim Yahushua. The only thing that's gonna be able to comfort you is your relationship that you had with Yahweh Ba'ashim Yahushua. You know? So let's go back to the home. Well, this is one of them. It's not the one I wanted right now, but this is one of them. It says Open AI CEO launches global WorldCoin cryptocurrency to facilitate the universal basic income and globalist authority and control. He says the new WorldCoin digital cryptocurrency token for global identification has officially launched, and OpenAI CEO Sam Altman, the guy behind it, is thrilled about the implication for launching the UBI. All right, which and is going to what? UBI is they're gonna give you an allowance, $2,000 a month, right? Because what's going to happen? People not going to have jobs, right? They're going to need, things. They're going to need assets, and here we're going to give you this free money, but you're going to have to take this free money under our terms and stipulations. Kind of like how when America go to these different countries and tear all their stuff up, and then here we'll give you this, but you got to agree to these terms. All right, and one of them, the ultimate term is what? To take the Karaka, right? It says as we recently reported, the purpose of the World Coin is to verify the identities of internet users by scanning their our arises to determine whether or not they are real people. This World ID program, as they are calling it, is part of the global digital passport system for instant verification. According to Othman, his company is strategically placing orbs around the world to scan people's eyeballs, and people was lining up. I don't know. It's a video. I think a brother posted that you got people lining up. I'm talking about long ass lines to get their eyeballs scanned so they could be a part of this. All right. It says users will need to make an in-person appointment to access the orbs, which are silver balls designed to verify humanness and uniqueness in a secure and privacy preserving way. While still in while still in beta, some 2 million users signed up for WorldCoin. The company's global orbital deployment is now being expanded to 35 cities in 20 countries, according to the reports. Once registered, some members in some countries will gain immediate access to WorldCoin's cryptocurrency token, known as WLD. Looks like a combination. Here it is, right here. Looks like a combination of the global digital ID, cryptocurrency, AI, and UBI, which gonna all be on the Charagma, which is the RFID. Okay, it says tweaked investors and real estate guru George Gammon and condemnation of technology. It's literally not possible to create something that sounds worse. Okay, now check this out. Altman says the new global digital currency will be tied to new global digital ID system, whether you like it or not. The new cashless society will rely on ID verification programs like WorldCoin to disperse payments. So you gonna get down with this whether you like it or not. This society will be cashless. It will be digital, and it's all roads are leading up to the CHIP. Okay, this is what's going on. All right. And so, matter of fact, let's just which is all going to the image, man. This is Revelations 13 and 15. It says, and he had power to give life unto the image of the beast, that the image of the beast should both speak and cause as many as would not worship the image of the beast should be killed. All right. So if you it's whether you like it or not. So it's either you're gonna get down with the system or we gonna delete you. And he caused it all, both small and great, rich and poor, free and bond, to receive a charagma in their right hand or their forehead, that no man might buy or sell, that he had the charagma or the name of the beast or the number of his name. All right, so everybody's gonna have to get down with this, because if it's a cashless society, no matter how much fucking cash that you got, you could be the richest man on the planet Earth, right? So-called richest man on the planet Earth with all this cash. It doesn't matter, because if you ain't part of the system, this digital system, then your money's no good here. Okay, which that charagma is a physical thing, right? It's a physical thing, right? Because when you was to commit yourself to a master, you would either bore the ear, right? Because that's what that is in Exodus 21. This is Exodus 21 and 5. It says, and if a servant shall plainly say, I love my master, which a lot of Jake will say this, I love my master, I love the so-called white man, right? My wife and my children, and I will not go out free. They're gonna love their lives, not they're gonna love their lives, right? And so what they were like, look, man, we need this to survive, right? We need this, we need to get part of the system because how we gonna eat? How we gonna get medicine? How we gonna do this? All right, he says, then his master shall bring unto him the judges. He shall also bring him to the door and unto the doorpost, and his master shall bore his ear through with an awl, and he shall serve him forever. So let's get that word bore. Huh? Bam. All right. It says, Rashash. I'm even saying that right. It says to bore, pierce of the ear. So it's physical, right? Pierce. Okay. Let me just see something right quick. Of a sharp pointed object go into or through. A splinter has pierced the skin. Make a hole, penetrate, puncture, punch, perforate, riddle, stab, prick. Huh? Prick. Probe, gore, spike, stick, impale, transfix, lance, tap, bore through, drill through. Okay? So you have to pierce, right? Something physical going through. Right. So this is gonna be, what people are gonna do when they take their charagma. All right. So when you go back to not Exodus, Revelations. All right, because this is the sin of priest of prophecy right here. All right, when you go back to Revelations and 18, Revelations 13 and 18, when you go to 603 score and six, right, which is part of what? This beast system. It says chastised stigma, right? Chastised stigma. It says, let me get to it. Where is it? Right. It says 666, which the meaning, so like the meaning of which is the basis of much vain speculation. But let's go to the Strongs. It says uh, G4742. Check this out. It says stigma, huh? It says a mark pricked. Did we just read? We just read in Exodus 21. Bore goes into the word pierce, and when you look up the word pierce, pricked, right? MARK pricked in or branded upon the body. To ancient Oriental usage, slaves and soldiers bore the name or the stamp of their master or commanders, branded or pricked, cut into their bodies to indicate what master or general they belonged to. And there were even some devotees who stamped themselves in this way with the token of their gods. You see? So look, down here in the Strong's definition, to stick, prick, MARK incites or punch for recognition or ownership. So like I said, and I'm going to say it again, if you don't believe that the C-hip is the MOTB, then the Lord really blinds you, okay? He really blinds you, and you're proud, okay? And the Lord hates a proud man. He hates the pride, okay? So that's what this is leading up to, man. This cashless society, right? So let's go back home. There's another article I wanted to get into. And look, see, and this I wasn't in this one, but look, check this out. Look, this is in the news now. Whistleblower, UFOs, an open secret in the military. All right, so-called UFOs. We know that to be the Lord's chariots, right? That's what we know it to be. Okay, which is going to be a curse unto Esau Edom, man. It says fighter pilots frequently seeing unidentified flying objects. are already an open secret within the military, according to whistleblowers. Three high-ranking military veterans testified under oath about their initial knowledge regarding UFOs and other unidentified anomalous phenomena during a July 26 hearing convened by the House Oversight Committee. One whistleblower, Navy Lieutenant Ryan Graves, assessed that his squadron frequently discovered unidentified crafts while they were stationed off the coast of Virginia in 2014. While most of the craft were identified on the radar, they also seen by pilots occasionally up close with their own eyes. Graves said these became so ordinary that over time UAP sightings became an open secret among our aircrew. The Ernest Wild Navy fighter pilot also recounted one close call encounter with a UFO. Two jets were forced to veer out of the way to avoid slamming into the object that resembled a dark gray cube inside of a clear sphere, right, which stood motionless against the wind. Okay, so, you in the news is talking about, UFOs, which they've been talking about, so-called UFOs. They've been talking about this. But, this is the chariots of the Lord. This place, the Lord is getting ready to deliver this place, man. So what they make up all these stories, right? They make up all these stories about, the so-called UFOs, but we know it to be the vehicles of the Lord, man. Okay? What is this? Psalms 104. Psalms 104 and 3, it says, Who layeth the beams of his chambers in the water? Who maketh the clouds his chariots? Who walketh upon the wings of the wind? Right? Who maketh the clouds his chariots, man? All right, so the chariots of the Lord are these so-called UFOs. And I believe that's written in, I want to say, Zechariah 5. Yeah, it says, this is Zechariah 5:1. It says, Then I turned and lifted up my eyes, and behold, a flying roll. And he said unto me, What dost thou seest? This flying roll is a chariot. It says, and he said unto me, What dost thou seest? And I answered, A flying roll, the length thereof is 20 cubits, and the breadth thereof is 10 cubits. And he said unto me, This is the curse that goeth forth over the face of the whole earth. For everyone that stealeth shall be cut off, as on the side according to it, and everyone that sweareth shall be cut off, as on the side according to it. So, you know, this flying roll is going into the chariots, man, which is a curse, unto the earth. Right? Why is it a curse unto the earth? Because it's coming back to wreak havoc, man. These chariots are coming back to wreak havoc. It's gonna be thousands and thousands of chariots. All right. You see, it's gonna be a lot of them. Do what they would so-called UFOs, man. You know, but these chariots are also, representation of salvation unto the hopeful elect. All right. But the reason is because this is in the news. This is in your news. But nobody pays attention to the news. They have made, you know, shit, let's see, the masses of people believe that, hey man, we don't give a shit about the news because whatever's going on, the government is going to fix it, right? Negative. Check this out. It says ATF has shut down nearly 2,000 gun stores since the implementation of its new the zero tolerance policy. All right. Now check this out. It says thousands of gun sellers have been forced to shut down thanks to the new tolerance policy, the new zero tolerance policy of President Joe Biden, uh, Bureau of Alcohol, Tobacco, Firearms, and Explosives. This is according to the lawsuit filed against the ATF. It is zero tolerance policy by the pro Second Amendment Organized Gun Owners of America, which found through combining ATF data with the Bureau has put nearly 2,000 gun sellers out of business in the past 2 years alone. The ordeal gun sellers of the United States are going through began so like the ordeal gun sellers in the United States are going through begin in 2021 when the ATF implemented an aggressive method of inspectors for federal firearm licenses. Many gun sellers were forced to shut down after their license were permanently revoked over what defendants claim are simple clerical errors. Right? This is an in around gun. This is an in around gun ban because you start putting gun dealers out of business, and now all of a sudden it's very difficult for people to purchase firearms. Warren GOA Senior Vice President E. Rich Pratt. The Gun Control Act of 1968 provides the basis for certain federal gun control measures, including regulations of interstate trade, requirements for firearm serial numbers, marketing, and establishing a list of prohibited persons who are not allowed to purchase or own firearms. The Gun Control Act also provides the federal government with authority over licensing and record keeping requirements for maintaining FFLs, and the ATF is charged with enforcing laws. Good faith, clerical, and untimely harmless errors in FFL record keeping are statistical inevitability. Charge are a statistical inevitability charged the GOA in its lawsuit against the ATF. For example, the ATF published data concerning its compliance inspections in 2020 reflects that the conducted it conducted 5,823 and found reported errors in 43.7% of those inspections. Since the beginning of the fiscal year on October 1st, 2022, the ATF has conducted 6,609 inspections of the compliance of FFL. With a little over 2 months left in the current fiscal year, fiscal year, this massive number of inspections are closing in on 705,002 FFL inspections recorded during the previous fiscal year. At its current pace, the ATF inspectors are conducting an average of 647.33 FFL inspections per month, topping 2022 month's average of 587.66. This suggests that the ATF will likely complete nearly 9,000 inspections before October the 1st, and could lead to dozens of more gun stores being shut down. Which part that was? Oh yeah, right there. This is what it says. It says licensed firearm retailers have had their lives destroyed for paperwork mistakes. Here they'll sit up here and do all this shit to these people because we know it's part of an agenda, but lose all the information on the laptop for Joe Biden's son. Come on, man. They are not serious about reducing gun violence, only scoring cheap politic points. He continued. President Joe Biden doesn't intend to stop washing over his administration's unwillingness to confront crime, instead continue targeting the firearm industry. Because what they want to do is, de-arm the American people, because a part of the Constitution, a part of the Constitution says that you have the right to bear arms, but we see that they're compromising their own Constitution, which in turn, we know that that's part of a failing society. Now that also happened in the scriptures, where they wanted to de-arm. Like I said, all this goes back to who? The children of Israel. All right. Everything that has happened in the scriptures, it was dealing with the children of Israel. All right. And that has happened. Well, you didn't want, Israelites to have weapons. Okay. Like I said, this devil he's a devil. So, you know, because wherever the children of Israel at, whoever's there, they gonna have to deal with the same consequences and repercussions and tyranny, you know, that these devils are gonna push out. You know, so everybody's gonna have to feel, the tyranny of this devil. But just to get that point, First Samuel 13. Oh shit. This First Samuel 13 and 19. It says, "Now there was no smith found through all the land of Israel. Right? No smith going to like a blacksmith, right? A weapon maker. For the Philistines said, at least the Hebrews make them swords or spears. All right, the modern day sword is a gun. All right, he said, but all the Israelites went down to the Philistines to sharpen every man his share and his coulter and his axe and his mattock. Yet they had a file for the sorry, yet they had a file for the mattock and for the coulters and for the forks and for the axes and to sharpen the goads. So it came to pass in the day of battle that there was neither sword nor spear found in the hand of any people that were with Saul and Jonathan, but with Saul and with Jonathan, his son, was there found. Okay. So basically, they didn't have any weapons because of what? The Philistines didn't want them to have weapons. All right, now you got the Americans. They want to take away your guns. So now they're passing laws. But first, like, well, why did you let them have guns in the first place? Because this is the devil. He's blessed with the sword, right? He gave the so-called white man. So-called white man, he take pride in his guns. All right. Why? Because, like I said, this his blessing was a sword. Now he wants to take that away because the agenda is in play. So he does all these things, make it hard to get weapons now. Shutting down all these different firearm, stores, man. Okay, because this is all part of the plan. All right. I just thought that was interesting. You know. So where this is at, and I'm gonna bring this out. This is gonna be it. No, I saw it right here. Wow. Rice rationing begins in America after India bans exports. 20 pounds of bags of rice soared from $16 to almost $50. Huh? Panic buying has ensued in the United States after India imposes a rice ban. Some stores in America are now selling 20-pound bags of rice for $50 when they previously cost just $16. There is also rationing occurring and supplies dwindle due to soaring demand. Video shared across social media over the weekend show standing in very long lines in states. Indians standing in very long lines in states Texas, Michigan, Alabama, New Jersey, Ohio, Illinois, and California, hoping to grab bags of rice before they all run out. Right? Look at this. I don't want to click into it because it might take me to all these other places. But this is people, you know what I'm saying, climbing and trying to get rice and all this other stuff, man. Right here. Right. India's rice export ban triggers panic buying at the U.S. supermarket. Okay. So it's going to be a famine. It's going to be a famine. All these things that's happening is going to come into play to bring forth a global famine. All right. You just had the grains deal that went to shit. And you got India banning rice exports. So it's going to be a famine, man. I'm going to just pull out this quick scripture. This is Ezekiel 4:16. It says, moreover, he said unto me, son of man, behold, I will break the staff of bread in Jerusalem. All right. And they shall eat bread by weight and with care, and they shall drink water by measure and with astonishment, that they may want bread and water and be astonished one with another and consume away for their iniquity. So it will be a famine. All right. This is just what we see. It's just a start. Oh, it's not affecting me. I can still go to the store. Of course you can. Of course you can. What's going to happen whenever it catches up with you, where you stay at, when you're affected, right? Because it's coming. It's coming. All right. Because the Lord said it's coming. So with that, man, Lord willing, you're edified. I'm going to say shalom.